Let's take a quick look at this site. This is Blog Catalog, and this is a great community site for bloggers. And why this is important for us is they have a great directory where you can find blogs. So if you come up to this top link here, you can click Directory and actually just go and navigate based on category. So if we're looking for gardening blogs, let's see, it doesn't look like there was a category under gardening. Let's look home and garden. Not really one there either, but we could probably click this category. Oh, here's a subcategory. There it is, gardening. So they have 126 gardening blogs in this directory. Again, some of the blogs are great. They get a lot of traffic. Some of them are not. Some of them are brand new. They don't get much traffic at all. And of course, some of these are miscategorized, you'll find. Sometimes people just put them in the wrong area. Here's one that's in Turkish or something here. But Blog Catalog's a great site you can just come to, look in their categories, look in their directory, find related blogs when you're doing your market discovery, you're doing your research, you're looking for these other blogs. We could do their blog search. Let's see what that'll bring us. So we type gardening. Brings up a bunch of other gardening blogs, or at least blogs that wrote about gardening. So it's a great site. So this is Blog Catalog, and it's a good research tool for you to find blogs in your market. Now it's time to go and look for some blogs related to our target market to see if we can find some blogs that our target customers are regularly reading, or blogs that have to do with our market itself. Again, if you can't find something when you're doing these searches for your market, you may have to go up the next level, like I mentioned before, if your market is a subset of a greater topic or a greater market. And again, you may find that you have to do that, and then you may find that in this example, let's say you find some blogs related to, for a gardening example, let's say about home improvement and things, but you may find that those blogs aren't talking much about gardening, and therefore they aren't really relevant. That's okay, it happens. There are millions and millions of blogs being published on the internet on a regular basis now, and blogging is really just taking off and continuing to grow. So the odds are good that you're going to find some for your market, unless your market is really, really obscure, or unless your market has to do with some small B2B industry itself, or something that's just not talked about very much. If that's the case, you really got to use your noggin and kind of do some diligent research to kind of find what blogs may be related to your market and where your market's hanging out talking. It's possible that you won't find any, but I would imagine for 90% plus of target markets and the market that your business may be involved with, you will find several blogs. This is Technorati. Technorati is basically a blog search engine aggregator type of site. Google is also an incredible blog search engine. Google's just a great search engine, period, for any type of content or media. But Technorati specializes in blogs, and it's easier to find stuff with Technorati related to blogs, or at least it's kind of all kept together. And of course, the results aren't, flooded with other unrelated things like non-blogs, I should say. And so when you do a search on Technorati, you're pretty much just finding blogs. And so if we're looking for blogs, this is where we want to start. You can also do searches in Google. For example, you can type gardening blog, gardening blogs, list of gardening blogs, those types of things, and find a bunch in Google. But let's start with Technorati when you're doing searches for blogs, because Technorati is just a great blog-centric search engine. Now, when you go to search to find blogs in your market, you got to be a little creative. If I were just to search gardening in their little search box here, it's probably not the best keyword to use to find gardening blogs. It may be, but it may not be. Typically, you want to think about words or phrases, and again, a lot of this is going to make more sense to you after you go through the next CD, Keyword Science. It's kind of a chicken and egg thing here. We're doing one without the other. But once you learn the right keywords for your market, and the ones that get the most searches and the ones that are the most relevant to your business, and hopefully the ones that convert the best for you when you drive that traffic from them with AdWords and then eventually with search engine optimization. When you figure those things out, then you'll know exactly what to come and look for in these types of search engines. But for now, when you just first start using it, and of course you can come back after you go through the Keyword Science process of that CD, But when you first come here, start thinking about things that would be included in a headline or title. In other words, if someone were publishing a blog where they're writing about articles and topics and different things going on in your market, what would be words they might include in titles? So, for example, with gardening, I'll just think of real quick, like planting roses. You know, a lot of people talk about planting roses when they talk about, you know, kind of putting together a garden and making their garden nice. A lot of people are into flowers. So if I type in planting roses and do a search, we'll come up with any blog titles and posts where someone was talking about planting roses. And then that can typically just lead us right to the related blog. And then I'll show you some little tricks where you can go from there to actually find other blogs. So here come the results. Carefree Beauty, shrub roses. It's talking about roses. And you want to read these because sometimes it's not very relevant stuff. But look, here's some videos about planting roses. We're going to get to videos in just a few lessons here on this CD. And if you go in Technorati, you can find videos like that. So remember this. I'm mainly going to show you YouTube and doing YouTube research for videos. But just remember that you can come to Technorati and find videos as well. So there's a lot of results here that are related to gardening and our gardening blogs. So we'll want to visit these and see what's going on, see what kind of activity they have, see what they're posting about. You can come in here and you can find these blogs listed by authority rankings. So for example, if we click on this authority and it comes up and it gives us a thumbnail of the site that it came from. Of course, you can hover over any of these little question marks and it'll tell you, of course, what all these little icons are. Some of these sites, these kind of Web 2.0 sites, they have so many little functions and features and voting and all this stuff. It can get a little bit confusing. So if you're ever using these and you just don't understand, like this is their logo, but you could have mistaken that to actually mean something, that little kind of O there. But if you don't, just click on it. It'll tell you all about what it is. So it says, what is authority? So it talks about how they have this kind of algorithmic scoring for how they attach this authority number to blogs. It's based on a number of links. It's based on the activity in the last, I think, 6 months. It changes all the time. By the time you come here, it may be changed again. They're constantly tweaking this. So the lower the number, the farther it is away from what the best one is in your market or for that particular search. So the lower the number, the better. And of course, you'll find most cases, the lower the number, those are the ones in the results that are kind of shown to us first. So, but let's go back. You can come here on your own and dig around and look at these authority numbers and try to search by category. It's a little bit harder on here. I'm going to show you another site that makes it easier to search by category. But back to what we're doing. So we do a search, planting roses. What you must know about rose planting, looking at this one. Home garden blog. That's a blog. So we click on that. Let's check it out real fast. It'll load for us. And what you're going to find is on a lot of blogs, they have this thing called a blog roll, which you may already know about. And by the way, it's kind of a pain. Some of these things. Is to look at the number of comments that are on a blog post. This one looks like it doesn't have any. And that can typically tell you the activity and the following, if you will, for a blog. If you find, and oops, something else I forgot to point out. Let me jump back. You'll notice right here, not all blogs have this. A lot of blogs use FeedBurner to manage their RSS feeds. We're going to talk more about RSS feeds in the course. But they use this little thing, and it'll say readers, and it shows a number. And that's how many people are subscribed to their RSS feed, who, when they use an RSS feed reader, they know whenever a new post is published, they'll see it in the reader, and they don't actually have to come to the blog. I'll explain this to you more when we get to more about blogging. But if you look at this number, the higher the number, the more traffic they're getting, the more regular readers they have, This blog happens to have 9 readers, which isn't very many at all, so they're not getting much traffic. So this probably isn't a blog we need to pay much attention to, except maybe just to notice what kind of content they're writing about to get some ideas. But it's not one we'd probably come when we get to this part of the course to where we would participate on, post comments, or even approach that blog owner to maybe publish some of our content as a guest author. So if we jump back to the original results from our search, I'll jump over to this one, the one with the high authority, which should indicate that it has more traffic because that number, as I already mentioned, is based on incoming links. So here are some posts, and here are some other blogs that are linked. These aren't necessarily garden blogs. These are just other blogs that they happen to be linking on here. But right here, garden resources. This is linking to some other blogs and some other pages. That's a great way to find other blogs, other sites of interest while we're doing all this research. So there's no one in discussion yet on this post. It just happened, so sometimes it takes time. Let's real quickly though. Let's jump back a few months and see if we can find any kind of discussion. There's one person, not a lot. So there's not a lot of activity, it seems, going on in this site. It's a really nice blog. It seems like a lot of people link to it, but for whatever reason, maybe just how they have it set up, or it's not easy to comment. Just maybe people don't know they can comment. Because typically there's just a section that says, click here for comments or whatever else. There's a little link here, comment, but usually it's a little more inviting than that. So for whatever reason, this blog doesn't get a lot of activity from other readers, but it doesn't mean it doesn't get much traffic. And later on the CD, we're going to talk about how you can actually tell how much traffic it gets and how to figure that out. But anyways, go to Technorati, do some searches related to your market, related to your keywords, poke around, find blogs. Whoops, telling us it's not available because I went back to the search page. But anyways, put in some terms, find blogs, visit the blogs, look for the blog roll that may link to other blogs. That's how you can discover good blogs. Look at that little authority ranking that can help you find which ones are getting more activity and links. And basically what you want to do when you do this blog research is you want to compile a list. This is the action step for you. You want to compile a list of blogs in your market, like 100 of some of the most visited blogs. And when you start getting involved in your market and you start following some of these blogs and reading, the nature of the internet is for blogs to link to other blogs. When you start posting a blog, you'll want to do that. You'll want to cite other great content that other blogs are talking about in your industry. And of course, it's just a natural link. It's not an affiliate link. There's no incentive there. It's just you naturally linking to some other good content that you want your blog readers to know about. That's the nature of blogging, so you want to freely link out. It's okay. Don't worry about people leaving and saying, oh, they're not going to come back. You want to do that. And what you'll find is when you link to other blogs, they'll be more apt to link back to you and send you traffic as well. And so that works out that way. But poke around, start to find some blogs. Start with Technorati. You can also do those same searches in Google, like I said. Find some blogs, start keeping an eye on them, and then also you'll find what other blogs they link to. Before you know it, you'll have your blog universe defined for your market. The most popular blogs and popular visited blogs and most active blogs, remember you can look at the comment numbers, how many people are commenting on the different posts. When you see 10, 15 comments, that's a lot of activity. If you see 100, that's a real busy blog. I think some of the busiest blogs in the world get about 100 to 200 comments and not much more than that. So if you find some, 8 to 10, 15 comments, that's a pretty active blog. So make a list of those, and before you know it, you'll define the blog universe, and you'll know all the main blogs, or according to the 80-20 rule, the ones getting the most activity for your market.